Hello, this is a Silberman upright piano done in Ferrari Red, as you can see. I'm just looking at the piano to see what we might need to do to just perfect it, and also just to enjoy the piano really. It's unusual for us to have a customized piano like this. It's been well done in many aspects, and I'm just going to try and show you how it's been done as well. So let's put the lid down, you'll see the Ferrari logo there. I don't know much about Ferrari myself, but it's interesting. We were asked to do a Ferrari Red piano many years ago. It was a grand piano, and we did it differently from this. This one is done with actually vinyl stuck onto it. I don't know if you can see, if you look there, you can see where it's been stuck on. Inside is more obvious. I'll just show you over here. You can see there where the vinyl just finishes. And they're generally well done, actually. There's not many defects on it. There's a very slight defect I found here, but it seems to be stuck down well. Otherwise, it seems to be pretty perfect. So interesting. If we were requested to do an upright in red and didn't want to go to the expense of repolishing it and then probably finishing it in polyester, we would probably have done the same, I imagine. So I don't know who did that, but interesting. And there's, you see that Silberman apparently it's Dutch. If you know anything about them, if you're in the trade, that would be really useful to know. We think that's the number of the piano that's on here as well above it, so pretty sure that. And looking on the inside, as we'll see in a minute, we think it's made in 1986 roughly. If you look inside pianos, there's often numbers, and that's tuning numbers clearly as to dates it was tuned, and that's the action number. Sorry, that's the keybed number, not the action itself. On the side of the bottom key was written carry on or carriage on, and underneath the keys you can see here we have presumably carry on, CAR, and then a date 1983, and then behind the action itself, that will be Herberger Brooks number, which is date 86 presumably, and their number as well. Looking on the internet, we found another Silberman with a Harrods number, and the Harrods number helps as we have a list of those, and that piano number is 172879. Our piano number's quite a bit later, 189079. And on our list of Harrods numbers we're compiling, I've marked it in bold as Silberman, as they said 1981 is probably about right, and we see the Harrods number there. So if we can think that ours was probably 1986, would be pretty much correct, I think. It's got rather fierce looking handles here. Our piano remover said he had moved them before, because he remembers that, so but it's not one that we've had in stock before. Soundboards on uprights are normally diagonal, as you can see, whereas the Silberman has straight. Generally it's regarded diagonal is better, but in fact when it's well designed, sometimes these ones with straight grain, as it were, work very well. And most of the Silbermans we've seen in our researching have got 2 pedals, and this one's got 3, which is obviously a practice pedal, but it's always useful to have a practice pedal when you play. That's with the practice pedal down, and this you press it down and you press release again. Sometimes they go sideways, as on the, say for instance, Yamaha U1 and U3, but this has a system where you just release it by pushing it back down again. If you look extremely carefully, and it's difficult, it took us a long time to discover that it says Silberman underneath there, but you might be able to just about detect some letters on the video there. Probably not. I think there's an E, I think, just around there. No, we're not familiar with Silberman, so if you're in the trade, it would be really useful to have your comments, because there are many things that are well designed on this piano. For instance, these are very solid. That's useful. The Yamaha one's very plasticky. This is one on a Yamaha U3, for instance. Also like the way that this, like older pianos, doesn't have a small pin here or on the back where the damper lift rod is. If you watch me, I can press the dampers, and you can't really see that very well, but it's useful not to have a little pin that has to always be located, so every time you put the action back in, you've got to relocate the pin, as you get on Yamahas, for instance. Forix also like this one, it's been designed really beautifully. Along with, I think, most modern pianos, the Yamaha U3 and U1 both have this locator here for the soft. That's for the left-hand pedal and the half blow, and then at the back they also have a locator for the sustain. I don't know if you can see that moving up and down, but that's a real nuisance, and I think if you agree with me, if it's not necessary, why put it there? It's a real nuisance. It's like everyone's copied everyone else. So there's really no reason to have those locators, and this is a 4-ick, as you can see, and that's the left-hand half blow, and then if we look round the back, hopefully we can see there we are, sustain going up and down. So it doesn't seem to get in focus very well, but trying my best. The sustain is a particular nuisance for piano technicians to have to put the locator in and out all the time. If you're a technician, please comment, and if you're a manufacturer, please try to make pianos without that locator in them. That's not a criticism of Yamaha U1 and the U3. Well, it is, but they're very good pianos, obviously, so we sell the 80s ones of those, particularly 70s and 80s. Now, just listening, well, before we listen to the tone, just wanted to say, if you're in the trade, and I particularly like the way this is fitted on too, it's just clipped on there, so there's many nice designs on the Silberman, so if you've had experience with them, that's really helpful. Just something that worried me and then amused me is that the break point is quite reasonable for this size of piano, but it wasn't reasonable when we first got it, because someone had put blue tack, and I've no idea why they put blue tack just here on the top of the string, so I just put it on to show you what effect that has on the sound. And it worried me because I thought that was a really bad break point, which you do get on some pianos, so we put that blue tack on there, which is what was on there before. See how dull it is. It was worse than that, actually. So really odd that they would have put blue tack on there. I have no idea why that should be, and certainly was making the breakpoint sound quite disgusting. This is a British Langer action made in Nottingham, as British piano. A lot of pianos have that, and the hammer wear is very minimal indeed. So presumably it's bought very much as a cosmetic piano, and we'll have a listen to it and compare it with other pianos now. I forgot to mention that really this, I think, could do with something like book holders or cat's clips, because although the music stands on it well, in fact all Silbermans seem to be like this, very plain music desk. If you've got thick books, they'll tend to come off, tend to not hold open. So you could buy Black's cat's clips, which are adjustable like that, or you could put ordinary book holders on. There's enough space to do that, though I'm not sure if it would look right because of the surface here of it may make a bit of a mess, so probably cat's clips would be better. Finally, that's the summary of the things we've mentioned before. I don't think there's anything I missed out, but the weighting of the keys, very often you find with small uprights that the sharps are too heavy. If it's a new 4-ick, for instance, they're always very, very even. All the sharps and the naturals are all the same, and they tend to be going up to 48 at the top, and down to 48 at the top, 52 in the bass, as we said before, and 50 in the centre. That's what we're aiming for. So that's not too bad, is it? There, but the sharps, they are quite varied, really. I marked the break point on here just out of interest, really, and just have a listen to it now compared to other pianos. This is a Knight K20, similar height. A much taller Yamaha U3. And the new 4-ick 122. So that's a Silberman with Ferrari casework. So it's something we haven't had before. It's a bit unusual. I was looking forward to making the video just to see what comments we got, so please do comment underneath. It's a beautiful piano to play. The touch is excellent, so it's very well designed. Obviously it's a small piano, so it doesn't have an amazing tone, but we're going to even up the touch, and very, very pleasant to play indeed, and very interesting casework, obviously. If you are interested, please do write to us, info@robertspianos.com. And has a very warm bass sound. Rippen is another Dutch firm, and if you're in the trade you'll know what I'm talking about, hopefully, that Rippen has an extremely good bass, and it seems to be that although this is a straight grain soundboard, it has a very beautiful tone, so I'm impressed with it. If you're familiar with this make and would like to make any comments about it, please do. I would love to learn, and obviously we want to learn all the time, and we hope this has been helpful for you too. Thank you very much for listening.